Hey there. If you watched my previous video, you will know that I had to return my Luba due to a lift motor error. I had to pack everything. Mammotion asked me to pack everything, not just the lawnmower, but everything, including the RTK, base station, everything. Um, Mammotion provided the shipping label. It was delivered to their warehouse here in Canada on August 18, based on the tracking. So this video is about my support service experience with Mammotion. So on August 18, my old Luba was delivered to their warehouse here in Canada. This is the timeline for getting a replacement unit. It took about 10 days for Mammotion to acknowledge they had received my old Luba. This is after a number of emails from me requesting for a status update. They provided a tracking info for the new unit. Based on this tracking, they shipped the new unit on August 25th, so about a week after they received the old one. The tracking showed that it was stuck in Hong Kong FedEx facility as they appeared to be waiting for some information from Mammotion, maybe something related to custom. After contacting Mammotion again, they seem to have provided the info to FedEx, and the shipment was on his way again on September 1st. It was eventually delivered here in Canada on September 5th, so about 18 days after sending the old Luba. So this is how long it took for me to get the replacement unit. So what's my thoughts on the support services from Mammotion? Well, the lack of communication from their support services made me feel definitely uncomfortable. It took a number of emails with nothing returning back, especially to get the initial acknowledgement that they had received my old Luba and then the new one was being processed. When I did get their attention, though, the experience was actually really good. They did not hesitate to issue me a replacement unit with the lift when I was having those lift motor area issues. Um, some of the downsides is since I did not have the original box anymore, I threw them away. Had to make my own packaging, and that was definitely not ideal. It took a little bit of work. You can see in some of my previous videos, I showed that as well. Um, so I will attribute this negative part of my support experience with Mammotion to growing pains. This is obviously a new product, and I believe the demand is high. So they must be struggling to keep up with sales and support demands. A few things though that I've noticed actually with the new version of this Luba, it is a slightly different version. Uh, I wish I could have captured the version number of the hardware on the previous one, but I did not. But there was obviously some minor changes to it. Internally, I don't know, but externally, what I could see, there was some minor changes. Um, so this is from the one I ordered originally at the beginning of July. Some of these changes are small improvements, very small, and some are more cosmetic. So the bigger one that I noticed was to be with the connectors to the base station. Um, these are the new connectors. I don't have a picture of the old one, but I remember the old one was just directly plugged into to the base station. It didn't have those wire extending out with those screwed on connectors, which probably provide a much better waterproof seal than the previous solution. So I think that's probably an improvement. Some issues they may have had with other units in the past. One thing I noticed as well on the underside of the Luba, there's now this graphic warning users not to use a pressure washer to clean the underside. Didn't have that on the previous one. This next one here, I'm not sure if maybe I missed it in my previous Luba because I don't remember seeing it, but I may have not noticed it in the packaging. This little circle part there, plastic part, it goes on the left side of the base station. It goes where the RTK pole goes through. So if you're not using the RTK pole that way, you can put this little plastic on and then use one of these plastic screws to screw it down the ground. I don't remember seeing that in the in my previous Luba, but I may have missed that one. So I noticed a couple of very small that I don't think were on the other ones either, on the older Luba. There are a few cosmetic changes, such as those Luba and Mammotion stickers, I guess, on the side bumpers. And then also the one that's very difficult to see, especially in this picture, on the front bumper. So it is nice that Luba is making some small changes and it's not being static. So there are some small changes. There may be some changes internally as well to the hardware. Not something I can see. But it's nice to see those small improvements on the outside. So they're not standing still. They're working on the product and improving it. You can see as well in the software there have been a few firmware upgrades as well to the Luba. The last one I've noticed as well when I was upgrading, when I installed this new one, the firmware, I don't remember the exact word, but it was referring to that lift motor issue as well. So they may have seen some issues, not only with mine, but with a number of others. That's why maybe they did not hesitate to send me a replacement unit. So, and it seemed to be related to a lift motor issues as well. So it may have been related. So that's it. We'll see how this one goes. I've had it installed already. I've mowed my lawn twice already. Seems to be working fine. So far, so good. Thank you.